Imagine sitting alone in a dark room at 2 a.m. The only light comes from a phone screen. One short video turns into another, then another. A few minutes pass, or at least that's what it feels like. But somewhere else, far away from that quiet room, thousands of servers are already recording something. Not just what was watched, but how long the pause lasted, which part made the thumb stop scrolling, what time the screen lit up, what caused the second replay. Even hesitation became data. And that raises a strange question. Why would companies care so much about tiny pieces of human behavior? At first glance, it seems obvious. Advertising, personalization, recommendations. But this isn't just about making apps better. Behind every search, every click, every swipe is a much bigger system. One built around prediction. To understand this, picture a giant casino, not filled with slot machines, filled with people, millions of them, walking around carrying phones, every movement creating signals. The casino watches carefully which machines attract attention, which lights make people stay longer, which sounds trigger excitement. Now replace the casino with the internet. That's what modern tech companies discovered. Human behavior is incredibly valuable because behavior can be predicted. And if behavior can be predicted, it can be influenced. That changed everything. Years ago, oil was considered the most valuable resource on Earth. Countries fought wars over it. Entire economies were built around it. Today, something else quietly powers the digital world. Human data? Not because companies care personally about individuals, but because patterns are profitable. One person searching for running shoes means almost nothing. 10 million people searching after midnight while watching fitness videos? That becomes a map of desire, and maps like that are worth billions. This leads to something unexpected. The real competition between tech companies is not simply about making better products. It's about collecting more signals, more behavior, more patterns. Because the company with the best predictions controls attention. And attention became the new currency. That's why apps fight so hard to keep people scrolling. Why notifications appear at just the right moment. Why platforms seem to know what someone wants before they say it out loud. It can feel almost magical. But it's not magic. It's accumulation. Tiny fragments of behavior gathered over years. Imagine standing in a supermarket where the shelves rearrange themselves based on your mood. That's essentially what algorithms do online. The digital world changes shape around each person. Quietly, constantly, and most people never notice it happening. But here's the deeper layer. The value of data isn't only about selling products. It's about reducing uncertainty. Companies hate uncertainty. Investors hate uncertainty. Governments hate uncertainty. Data promises something incredibly powerful. The ability to predict what humans might do next. What they'll buy, what they'll fear, what they'll believe, what they'll click. And the more accurate those predictions become, the more valuable the system becomes. This is why free apps are rarely free. Because payment isn't always money. Sometimes the payment is information, habits, attention, emotion, even time itself. And in fairness, there are benefits. Maps work better, music recommendations improve, search engines become smarter, life becomes more convenient. But convenience always has a trade-off. Because the more technology understands human behavior, the more influence it gains over human behavior too. That's the part most people never stop to think about. The phone in a pocket is no longer just a tool. It's also A sensor, a mirror, a prediction machine, quietly learning from every interaction. The next time an app somehow recommends the exact thing that was just being thought about, remember this. It probably wasn't reading minds, it was reading patterns, and patterns at massive scale can start to look frighteningly close to the same thing. If this changed the way you see the digital world, share it with someone and subscribe. There's always another hidden system waiting beneath the surface.